Hello and welcome to this tarot reading, the first of 2026. This is for January the 4th through the 10th, Sunday through Saturday. I'm Angelyn. Thank you for joining me. If this is not your first time with me, thank you so much for coming back. I always appreciate ongoing support. Okay, so we know that here we are in this brand new year. We've already talked about the season. Hopefully you've watched that video on this season, this winter season. And here are the themes for the week. The first one is the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is sadness. It is grief. Now, I talk about grief a lot in my practice and the work that I do. I feel like grief is something that we're doing all the time. We are always creating and we're always letting go. The caveat is when we're depressed and things like that. Usually depression is because we're not doing those things, FYI, but this week, release. Release is going to be a big deal. Like whatever the things are that you can't manage, you just can't manage. Whatever the things are that you have to let go of or that you're not going to be able to do that you thought you were going to do or that you wanted to do, be okay with it. It's going to be okay. Just cry and move on. It's fine, right? Like there's an element of, I resist this, I don't want it to happen, and so I'm going to keep, having trouble. And then that surrender into it when you finally just say, there's nothing I can do about this. And then you feel better, I think that this is telling us that to just look for those moments. And when we can let go, maybe even preemptively let go. The other theme for the week is the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is about being a good steward of money, being able to manage resources expertly with confidence. No, sorry, I would love to see you, but I'm really tired. I need to rest tonight. Like managing your resources in that kind of way. Can we talk on the phone instead? I would prefer to cook rather than go out. I don't usually feel good after I, eat food out. Managing your resources, thinking ahead, being smart about it. The king is an expert, and so we're being called to expertly navigate our resources, our money, our time, our energy. Sunday, January 4th, we have the World. The most beautiful card that you can get, I think at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of a week. It indicates that a cycle is just completed. And well done. It's like, yay, well done. And now we're going to start something new. Now we're in a new energy. There's lots of potential. There are lots of directions that things can go. This actually does mirror what the astrologers have been saying, that this is going to be a week of starting things. It's a good week to get things started. And I think that the World being at the beginning of the week is an indicator of such also. Monday, January 5th, we have the 10. The 10 of Wands indicates overwhelm. Our plate got full. That's what happened. It's like, hey, remember how I told you to just let things go this week? You thought I was kidding. But you let it happen anyway. It's okay. Just know that this is the potential, right, for Monday. Tuesday, January 6th, we have the 8 of Cups. Now, this is a time of contemplation. This is a time of figuring out what I need to walk away from. And the 8 of Eights are about planning, evaluation, like really strategizing, figuring out where am I going to go? What direction am I going to go? How is this going to look? And also it's this element of emotion. And so what that means is we have to figure out what we're going to walk away from and what we're not going to walk away from. And so Tuesday, January 6th, we're being asked to really look hard at that and figure out like what we can let go of this week. Wednesday, January 7th, I think we've gotten over the worst of it for the week. The 6 indicates that we've gotten through, like we've burst through the harder part, and now we can feel a little bit of relief. It's like, even if you have a lot of things on your plate that day, it's not going to be that hard. You're going to just move through them and things are going to go a little bit more easily. It is a time to, Wednesday is going to be a time to relax, celebrate those small wins. Yay, I was able to go to bed early, last night and I feel good today, or, whatever, you celebrate the small things. I think that life is often about remembering to do that. Truly. I think it makes a big difference. Okay. Thursday, January the 8th, we have the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords tells us that, there's something probably that this right here, there's something that's going to be present that can either blind us for the whole day or can be used as like a cape or a sail. So be very, very aware on Thursday what is coming up that could potentially be a problem or that I could potentially use to help guide me through, in a new, better, make things easier for myself. How can I take the energy of my child, who has lots of energy? How can I take the energy that I need to give to them and use that for my own, to wear a cape? Well, you say, hey, I need your help on this. Can you help me? And then my child gets to have the attention that he needs from me and I get the help that I need. Do you see what I'm saying? Use that as an example. It could have been the thing that I was like, I'm not going to be able to get my stuff done. Or it can be just a different way of thinking about that energy and using it to help the whole situation, make it work for everybody. Friday, January the 9th, we have the Three of Swords. This one is a little pinchy. This indicates a little bit of heartbreak. You can see that in the picture there. It's often something that, well, it can be something that doesn't make sense. It's not often something, but it can be something that doesn't make sense, that has like a lot of different feelings, a lot of different thoughts, and it pinches. It doesn't feel very good. And I'd like to actually draw a clarifier about that one, just because I feel like, okay, all right, so the clarifier is the wheel. And so what that means is that on Friday, that pinch that we feel will be because there's something that is beginning, there's something that's ending. In other words, the wheel is turning, it's always turning, it's always turning. And we're always in a state of letting go or picking up, just like I talked about at the beginning here. And probably what's hurting is something that you have had to let go, or that you realize that you've got to let go. Or it's something new that you didn't necessarily want to have to start. Either way, look out for that on Friday. On Saturday, January 10th, we have the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands says, well done. You've created some stability. You got through this week. You're feeling more in balance now. Hopefully you were able to take some of these cards and actually, form your week accordingly so that things could feel a little bit more stabilized. Fours are ultimately about building foundations. And so it's a needing to feel balanced, needing to feel resourced, needing to feel like you've got a stabilizing force underneath you. And the way that we do that is through doing this work of like looking at things and deciding what we need to do. What is going to behoove me the most? What is going to hurt me the most? How can I set limits a little bit differently so that I can have more of what I need? How can I be creative in my approach so that I can make life easier for me? All of those things are this. So hopefully you've done that this week. Okay, we've got 2 more cards to draw. I want to know what the big support, where can we gain our support? Where can we get our support for the week? What can we look to for support? The Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles says, sit down and look at all the stuff that you've managed already. It's a lot. It's a lot. Even if you look this week, if you look last year, if you look the last 3 months, it's a lot. Doesn't matter what little time frame you're looking at. It's a lot. Feel proud of that. Know that you can do it again. Know that this is just a week. That's all it is. It's just stuff. This is a good time to get things started. Remember, it's a good time to really put some thought and effort and energy into what you want in the way that you want it for the year. Sit down and look at what you're capable of. I bet it's more than you remember. All right, what's the thing we don't see coming? 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords, disagreement. Some sort of inequity. We may not see coming something that makes us feel in conflict with ourselves. This might be a conflict or a disagreement that is had between you and someone else. It could be people in your life, but probably around some injustice, something that is like not okay, you know? And so look for that. Look for that. That could be collective or personal. Just look for that. Try not to let it disrupt you. Remember, this is something we don't see coming, but it is something that if we're warned about, we can pay attention to and look for and make sure we're managing our energy around, because ultimately this was the big theme for the week, the King of Pentacles, who tells us to be experts in managing our resources. Thank you very much for joining me. As always, I am so grateful to you for joining me and for listening and for paying attention. I will see you next time. Thank you so much.